Good afternoon, this is Mike from Dokumint, and I'm going to show you today creating a document trial from start through to setting up some records and integrations and things like that. So first thing I'm going to do is go into my registration page. I've created a domain for this so we can do real data. So it suggests a URL from your business name, and you can tweak that if you wish, and as long as it's available, that's fine. And then later on you can create your own custom domain name if you wish. Defaults to MSP and 2 user seats for the trial. You can knock that down to 1, you can knock it up to 457,000, it's up to you. Or you can select internal IT if it's just for one internal customer, if you like. I'm just going to put in the very bare minimum that I need to put in, but I suggest you fill out all the records. Just helps later on with everything already being populated. Cord. Okay, and email and password. That's it. Super. So now it's going to set the tenant up. It takes a minute or so, and then it will send an email. Emails get sent from the system on the minute every minute. So depending on how long this takes, it could take 2 to 4 minutes before the email comes in. As soon as it does, I shall be back. Okay, that took just under 2 minutes. So the emails come in. It's a very basic one. All we need to do is click on verify email. I'm going to copy that link, pop it in my window, and here we are at the login. So let's get logged in. That little flick you may have just seen is just flicking over to the subdomain name. It doesn't affect you typing. So log in, and you get asked to set up MFA straight away. I suggest it's a good idea to do it right away. You can skip it up to 3 times, but if you do it now, it's done. So I'm going to use my Authy app for this one. Scan a QR. And there we go, there it is, in there nice, with the logo. It's expiring any second, so I'll wait. Okay. Confirm. So we get our recovery codes, copy those out, and we are in. So at the top you get a notification bar. I don't issue many notifications, only relevant ones, so that will appear from time to time. And you can see we've got a 30-day trial running at the moment. There's our internal customer that we've created and primary location. What I want to do next is set up my time zone. So I go to admin and tenant settings, and then regional settings. So it defaults on this tenant to UK and UTC. I prefer to work in actual real time for me, so I'm going to choose London. Everything else is correct, so you've got your 3 date formats, 24 hour, 12 hour, and your currency code and symbols. I'm going to save that. Right, next I'm going to do an integration to HaloPSA, which will give me my customers and things like that to pull in. So again, admin, tenant settings, and this time integrations. And HaloPSA. I'm going to enable that, and I'm going to pull in the agreements. You can choose the name that you want to display in the sidebar for agreements or contracts, depending on where you are. So I'm going to grab my sandbox, if I click the right thing. I'm going to pop that in there, grab that, query, tenant equals, yep. and I'm going to grab my client ID that I've created already, and I'm going to generate a new client secret, and by the time you watch this, this will be disappeared. So I'm just going to grab a few and copy that one. Make sure it starts with 5T. Yep. Okay, so save settings, and I can preview my organizations, and here they are. I'm going to untick the Halo demo ones. So we're just going to pull in stuff that I've created, and you can see it's matched up with our internal tenant on this one. So I'm going to import the organizations, and then I'm going to move on to the sites. And as you can see again, it pre-selects the ones that you've already imported customer-wise. So I'm going to import those. Done. And I'm going to put in my contacts as well. And again, you can see it's pulling in general users. And on page 2, I've got the ones that I actually want. So import those like that. So now if we go to organizations, we should see some actual organizations. And if I click through to my demo one, I can see that we've got 3 locations. And we've got 3 contacts pulled through. So if we go to the overview, out of the box, this is what it will look like. It will set following the tenant setting, and then you can edit the organization and change the time zone if you need. If you filled in your details and pulled in addresses, that will populate a map. This one doesn't have an address, so there's no map there. You can add notes, we'll come on to that. So out of the box, gap analysis will show some gaps because obviously we haven't got any data yet. But we can see it's seeing the contacts, it's seeing that we've got 3 sites, so that's all good. Hasn't pulled any tickets through yet, or any assets as such. So you can edit the organization, and somewhere over here I have a logo, so I can drop a logo in. You can add notes, and we can bold it and make it an alert if we wish. You can also have a banner up at the top if you want. Banner, and again info, warning or alert. And we can choose the time zone if we want to. For this I'm just going to save. So you can see there's the banner, there's the logo, and there's our note. So we can see that it's now pulled in some tickets, and that will show in the tickets on the right hand side. And again, the banner persists at the top. So there's our tickets, and they open in the PSA. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at the custom domain and set that up. So this is if you want to have your own domain name. So I'm going to call mine docportal.vortexmsp.com. I can spell it right. Okay, and save hostname. And this will give me 3 records to create, a CNAME and 2 text records, because it uses a wildcard domain in the background. So I'm going to go and create this one first off. So add a record of CNAME, docportal, pointing to that. Let's go and put this all on the minimums for now. And then I need to create 2 text records. Add text. Content. On the minimum. And then the second one. Add that and the content. And again put that on the minimum. Save. Okay, so we've got our doc portal and 2 text records. So now what we have to do is wait for propagation. So we'll refresh. And it's still provisioning. I have seen this take a couple of minutes, and I have seen this take a couple of hours. So at the moment, both text records are still pending. Let's try again. It's still provisioning. I shall come back momentarily. Okay, so it looks like one of the records has now been validated. So if I refresh, one's dropped off. So now I'm just waiting for the second one. Okay, and a few minutes later, I think the other one's done as well. So let's have a look. Yep. Okay. So it says that they've both disappeared. We just need to wait a few minutes now for the certificate to be applied, I think. Okay, I think that should now be done. There we go, finally, woohoo! So, if I now pop that in at the top, need to log in again. And authenticator. And with luck, we're back in. Okay, so we're now working within the branded or custom domain. So now any emails going out or documents that you generate for customers will show with your custom branding on.